Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Fajar Asmat, and this is the third certificate of intermediate sequel. And this has been awarded to me on 19 April. Now we will discuss what I have learned in this course. Intermediate sequel, course number 3. First of all, we will discuss chapter 1, case statements. The case statement goes through conditions and returns a value when the first condition is met, like an if then else statement. So once a condition is true, it will stop reading and return the result. If no conditions are true, it returns the value in the else clause. If there is no else part and no conditions are true, it returns null. Now we will discuss simple subqueries. There are a few rules that subqueries must follow. Subqueries must be enclosed with parentheses, which means brackets. A subquery can have only one column in the select clause unless multiple columns are in the main query for the subquery to compare its selected columns. An order by command cannot be used in a subquery, although the main query can use an order by. The group by command can be used to perform the same function as the order by in a subquery. Subqueries that return more than one row can only be used with multiple value operators, such as the in operator. A subquery cannot be immediately enclosed in a set function. The between operator cannot be used with a subquery. However, the between operator can be used within the subquery. Now we will discuss correlated subquery. In a SQL database query, a correlated subquery, also known as a synchronized subquery, is a subquery that uses values from the other query. It is also a query nested inside another query. Because the subquery may be evaluated once for each row processed by the outer query, it can be slow. Correlated subqueries may appear elsewhere besides the where clause. Now we will discuss window functions. Window functions applies aggregate and ranking functions over a particular window set. Over clause is used with the window functions to define that window. Over clause does two things. First, partition is rows into form sets of rows. Partition by clause is used for this purpose. Second, orders rows within those partitions into a particular order. For this purpose, order by clause is used. This diagram shows the basic difference between aggregate function and window function. Now we will discuss chapter 2. Where are the subqueries? What is a subquery? A query nested inside another query is called a subquery. This is the query for a subquery. Select column from table as subquery. This is useful for intermediary transformations. Now the question arises, what do we do with the subqueries? Subqueries can be any part of a query. For select from, where, group by. Subquery can return a variety of information such as scalar quantities, a list, and a table. Now we will discuss chapter 3, correlated subqueries. It uses values from the outer query to generate a result. It returns for every row generated in the final dataset. It is used for advanced joining, altering, and evaluating data. Now we will discuss a difference between simple and correlated subqueries. Simple subquery can be run independently from the main query, whereas correlated subquery is dependent on the main query to execute. Simple subquery is evaluated once in the whole query, whereas correlated subquery is evaluated in loops, and it significantly slows down query runtime. Now we will discuss the last chapter of this course, which is introducing window functions. It performs calculations on an already generated result set, a window. It aggregates calculations. It is similar to subqueries in select and running totals, rankings, and moving averages. Now we will discuss the key differences between the clauses. It is processed after every part of query except order by. It uses information in result set rather than database. It is available in Postgres, KSQL, Oracle, MySQL, SQL Server, but not SQLite. Over and partition by. Calculate separate values for different categories. Calculate different calculations in the same column. For example, have average home underscore goal over partition by season. This was all from my side. Thank you. I hope that you have understood this course well.